Let's get an update now on the Main Street economy, more specifically what's happening at the Port of Los Angeles. And with us now, Gene Seroka, the Executive Director of the Port of L.A., who's also taken on the big job of Director of Logistics for the City of Los Angeles in the coronavirus crisis. Gene Seroka, thank you very much for coming to the line and give us an update now what's happening at one of the biggest economic engines here in Southern California, the Port of Los Angeles.
Right now, Frank, for the month of June, we're going to be down 13% compared to a very strong June of 2019. And as we close the first 6 months of the year, second quarter, we're going to be down about 17.5%, given the effects of both the trade war and COVID-19. Now, we have to go back to the Great Recession to see volume declines of this nature, Frank, and I don't need to remind you, it took this port 10 years to recover that volume. I don't want to be in that situation again. So we're working very closely with all of our trading partners, our service providers, to really get those 40 million Americans back to work as quickly as we can. We're going to focus heavily on exports in the ag, manufacturing, and auto sectors to help drive business and reconnect partners overseas.
To look back now at the start of 2020, there was quite a bit of optimism with these trade deals coming together. Then the coronavirus crisis hit, and the number one issue here at the moment, what do you see ahead for the rest of 2020?
Yeah, uncertainty, but I believe that the knock-on effects of both the trade war and COVID-19 will last throughout the remainder of 2020 into 2021. And we're so driven by two areas, Frank, as you know. The consumer buying power in the United States and the manufacturing capabilities of our American companies, and both are down right now. We expect them to rebound, but with this spike of COVID-19 cases, it just leaves us with uncertain air.
Given the current health crisis, you've taken on the tremendous responsibility of logistics, providing critical supplies to local hospitals, caring for coronavirus patients. Given the current spike, give us an update on what's happening.
That's right. At the end of March, Los Angeles Mayor Eric Garcetti thought that we could use our great LAX airport, the Port of LA, to speed product to our frontline medical workers at hospitals. Using our supply chain knowledge and decades worth of relationship in the manufacturing community, we could find a quicker way to get these important personal protective equipment supplies, and we did. We put together an agreement with the iconic American company Honeywell Corporation for 24 million N95 respirator masks over a 24-month period, giving us certainty with specific production and delivery every month, and at a price point no one has been able to see. While others have been going to overseas markets with unproven partners, we found a company who was aligned with exactly what we wanted to do. And that's only the beginning of the work, Frank. We're working on other areas, whether it be isolation gowns, these exam gloves, and anything we can do to help those hospitals that are treating our COVID-19 patients.
Of course, you're speaking to the business community here now. Is there anything you need, anything the business community can do to help the situation?
Yes, we're going to stay together. And even through cycle, because of our strong financial policies, we continue to invest with $367 million of capital projects here at the port that will employ more than 3,000 construction workers during this downturn. We need to continue to find ways to create efficiencies here at the port, take cost out of the system, so we are the trade gateway of choice. And that's all walks in the business community. And I'm so proud, Frank, because we have not taken our eye off the ball. Just last week, we welcomed the largest ship ever to call a Western Hemisphere port, the MSC Isabella, and we had the all-time record worldwide, moving more than 34,200 TEUs on and off that vessel. Frank, in the old days for you and me, that would have been about 4 vessels worth of calls here at the Port of L.A., and this is with one mega ship.
And it seems like yesterday I had the enormous privilege of being with you for the christening of the Benjamin Franklin, which is also in that class of cargo vessels, right?
That's right. December 26th of 2015, we welcomed her in, and we continue to grow our vessel size and capability with the great work of the women and men of the ILW Longshore groups.
Certainly health, the number one issue in all of businesses right now. Tell us how health is being addressed there to keep all the workers safe at the port.
We've done a tremendous amount of work, not only with our medical frontline folks, but with our critical workers, passing out this PPE to our longshore and truck drivers, having cleaning solution and equipment so the handoffs of that equipment between longshore shift work is done properly, and we continue to be present for whatever that worker needs, following the physical distancing requirements And to date, we haven't missed any shift work here at the Port of Los Angeles due to illness.
That is quite remarkable. And so the cargo activity going almost full steam ahead there. But, of course, the cruise industry is on hold for the moment. Give us an update on the impact of this situation right now.
The cruise industry is just about shuttered, as we all know. We'll have an occasional ship coming in to present with stores for their crew members. But at this point in time, we don't see any activity before the fall, and we'll still be monitoring this very closely. As you know, Frank, with every cruise vessel call, it means about $1 million to our local economy within 2 miles of the port. That's our restaurants, our hotels, our shops, really counting on the passengers that board and take pleasure in these cruise sailings.
Has anyone calculated the impact of the cruise line shutdown on the local economy?
It's about 125 calls per year at that $1 million rate for each one, and that's a big deal to us. In addition, it's the wharfage and dockage we receive from those companies, our customers, that now is at risk for a longer term than anyone would have thought.
Anything else you'd like to bring to our attention here?
I think, Frank, that the work we're doing, we're running at about 80% of the normal cargo volume that would go through the Port of Los Angeles at this time of year, and with 40 million Americans out of work, I'll take that. But we want to get as many people back on the job from our docks to our farmlands and manufacturing communities, and that's our focus right now.
And what is the job situation, since that's going to be a big focus this week with the jobs report coming out? Tell us how jobs have been impacted there at the port, given the current recession and coronavirus crisis.
Well, as you know, the San Pedro Bay Port Complex is tied to 1 in 9 jobs in Southern California. During normal days, that's about 1 million people that go to work. Here, directly on the docks, our labor shift work is down 19% year over year, and compared to an important 3-year average, we're down 18% during that time. Labor shift work. Less cargo, Frank, means fewer jobs here at America's Port.
Any discussion about possibly bringing back the hospital ships, the hospital ship that was there in Los Angeles? Are we at a point now where that's even being considered?
We're watching these numbers very closely, from the available hospital beds to ICU unit availability, as well as ventilators. Don't see any real need to augment that supply just yet, but we're watching, and we will mobilize with the great help of our governor and mayor on a moment's notice.
And anything else related to China trade or the new USMCA deal?
Cargo is still moving, but the concern with the Phase 1 trade deal with China right now, Frank, is that by the end of September, we were to have sold about $36 billion worth of agricultural products, and we're on track for only about $8 to $9 billion. We've really got to step it up, bringing people back on the job in the ag sector and opening up those sales channels for China to buy our products from the field.
See you tonight. Read about it tomorrow, but hear it now. Gene Seroka, the director of the Port of Los Angeles, thank you very much for coming to the line.
Thank you, Frank. Stay safe and healthy, please.
Yes, sir. You too. Thank you very much for that. Thank you.